morning. Welcome back to Hearns Lane. Hope you had a good half-time break and ready for the second half here of the FA Cup first qualifying round between Welwyn Garden City and Bishop Stortford. Joining us for the first time, welcome along. Be here with you on 90 Minutes Live in association with East Hearts Radio and Universal Signs. And the half-time score, Welwyn Garden City 1, Bishop Stortford 0. George Ironton with the only goal of the game coming after 17 minutes. Nobody's made a change at half-time by the look of it. So I'll run you through the two team lineups when I get to an appropriate break in play. But Bishop Stortford now kicking from left to right as George Ironton, the goal scorer, comes across the halfway line for the Citizens. George turns inside, still going inside. George still going inside. He's going all the way across the pitch here. Has to go all the way over to the halfway line where he brings in Jack Bradshaw, who thumps the ball off of Foxley, and it goes out for a throw-in to Welwyn Garden City. 1-0 to the Citizens. Of course, should it be level after 90 minutes, it will be straight to penalties. Continue the other game involving one of our teams tonight in the first qualifying round of the FA Cup is level at a half-time at 0-0. Walthamstow against St Margaret's-Bury. And last thing the Bury want, of course, is another dose of penalties, having gone out on spot kicks on Saturday against London Coney in the FA Vars. Let's give you the team lineups then. Welwyn Garden City with Charlie Crowley in goal. Back four's got Johnny Sexton at left back, Lee Gose and Golmenser in the middle, and Jack Bradshaw at right. There's three-man midfielders, Thomas Hapuku, Dave Keenley side and Jesse Walklin, and then the three up front, Jack Vasey, Patrick Tishkala and George Ironton. So as Walklin manages to win his side a free kick midway inside their own half. On the bench tonight for Welwyn Garden City, Eusebio, Robbie Buchanan, Charlie Payne, new signing Patrick Akwazi, Malcolm Podia and Miguel Lopez. As Charlie Crowley's kick on this side meets the head of George Ironton, but all he can do is put it out of play. Bishop Stortford have got Jack Giddins in goal, Sam November, Jack Thomas, Sam Robbins, Ryan Henshaw, Corey Davidson, Ben Marlowe, Tom Richardson, Frankie Merrifield, Darren Foxley and Mark Haynes in their starting 11. As Thomas hoofs the ball forward, Merrifield brings it down, Richardson completely misses it, the poker can get it away via Johnny Sexton. Sexton's long ball as Jack Vasey chasing it down. Henshaw does well to beat him to it, but George Ironton in possession finds Johnny Sexton. Dave Keenley side forward for Ironton. Keenley side gets it back. Jack Vasey stayed down, which is just a little bit worrying. Vasey, who was a little bit injury prone last year after he joined from Bedford Town and got an injury game that we saw here on 90 Minutes when they were away at Tame United, and that put him out for a number of weeks after that. But he's of course striking cover on the bench. Already mentioned it, Eusebio da Silva certainly being one option, but thankfully Jack Vasey is back up and looks to be okay. So the game will restart as Giddins will take the ball and bowl it out of his area away to our left-hand side. Giddins right-footed downfield. Close and Merrifield clash, and the ball bounces for Dave Keenley's side. Keenley's side's given it away to Merrifield, who does well. Thomas tries to tee it up on this near side for the advancing Robbins, but got it all wrong. Ball goes out of play for a throw-in for Welwyn Garden City. Keenley's side have given it away to Thomas. That was cheap, but in the end Bishop Stortford failed to take advantage as the ball goes out for a goal kick to the Citizens. Doesn't stop Nicky Ironton giving one of his textbook rants from inside the technical area on that far side. I think we know exactly what the boss thought of that, and it wasn't a lot. But Citizens get themselves out of trouble. Charlie Crowley will take the goal kick. Crowley with the right boots. just over the halfway line. Vasey goes up, beaten to it by Henshaw. Welwyn Garden City will get it back with Johnny Sexton, thumped out by Henshaw again. As Richardson brings it down, looks for Merrifield, but Lee Close is doing well, and in the end he was fouled in doing so. And so the referee will give the Citizens a free kick on this near side of the field. Bishop Stortford substitutes, by the way. Let's take you through those. Michael Mullins, Archie Jones, Joe Gardner, Louis Johnson, Ben Smith and Joe Baiachi. So a couple of attack-minded players on the bench should they wish to change things. No signs that, certainly no sign that they want to change things, but Eusebio de Silva is still out there warming up as far as Welwyn Garden City are concerned. It's going to be Crowley who takes the kick. Long one forward, looking for Vasey who goes up. Henshaw gets there first, but it'll break to George Ironton, who's going from left to right across the box. Does well to keep under control. Opuku back to George Ironton. Ironton chips it right-hand side. Does well is Jack Bradshaw. Bradshaw's crossed to the edge of the area is a poor one, though, and Bishop Stortford will come clear. Bradshaw goes down, though. Bit of experience earned Jack Bradshaw that. I think he knew he was in the wrong position. Managed to edge himself into the right position, so Foxley brought him down and get Welwyn Garden City out of what trouble might have resulted. So Dave Keenley's side will take the free kick for the Citizens. Mensah and Close have come up from the back again as two defenders back. Jesse Walker and Johnny Sexton fired in the free kick, cleared by Richardson, who was the first man. Walkland does well to head the ball away and then approaches it on this near side, flies into the challenge and manages to win it back. But Mensah's ball isn't a good one, and Johnny Sexton will thump it back into the Bishop Stortford half. All a little bit scrappy. Got to be said, that'll probably suit the Citizens at this stage, though, as they lead 1-0. Keenley's side is snapping all over Thomas's ankles. Then in the end snaps a little bit too keenly and gives away a free kick. Haynes is near side for Robbins. Back to Henshaw. In fact, the referee hasn't blown his whistle, so Ryan Henshaw will tee the ball up and prepare to take the free kick for the visitors. Bishop Stortford, who of course many moons ago reached the third round of this particular competition. I was saying 4 times in the first round this century. Got a good cup pedigree. But, referee blows the whistle. Henshaw, right-footed to that far side. Up goes Mensah. And I'm sure he's going to miss one tonight, but we haven't seen it so far. I think you could almost put a spread bet on the number of headers Carl Mintzer's going to miss throughout the course of a season. As, he does miss very, very few. Does the big number 6. Disappeared to Bedford Town, didn't he, at part of last season, but very much back at Hearns Lane now. But Bishop Stortford coming forward, but once again they've given the ball away. They managed to wrestle it back. It's all a bit scrappy as Movember tries to go down that left wing. Turns inside and Welwyn Garden City claiming offside. Referee doesn't want anything to do with it, and Henshaw picks it up. It's midway inside the Welwyn Garden City half. Chips it over that far side. Movember's made it there, but Thomas Opuku manages to clear. So Movember did well there because looked like it was just going to run harmlessly out. But meanwhile, goalkeeper taking a chance against Jack Vasey and gets away with it. And clears to the far side, only onto the head of Bradshaw. Bradshaw's been left in a heap by Movember, and Welwyn Garden City will have themselves a free kick. So we've had 8 minutes of, fair to say, an extremely scrappy second half so far. Nobody's managed to put their foot on the ball. And it's going to be Charlie Crowley who will take the free kick. George Ironton's peeled a little bit wider on this left-hand side here. Crowley's free kick goes down the right, though, straight to the head of Movember on the halfway line, returned with interest by Jack Bradshaw, but straight into the arms of Giddins. Giddins' long kick forward will land on the head of Lee Close. Manages to get away from Merrifield. Davidson for Marlowe. Marlowe's being We've got Jesse Wortlin all over him. Still manages to find Robbins on this near side, who's robbed by George Ironton. Wortlin forward for Jack Vasey. Vasey missed kicks. The ball pushed forward on this near side, but Crowley will come out and collect. Really, it's no saying in football, but on the evidence of this opening 10 or so minutes, managers will tell you whether they think players want it more than the opposition. And at the moment, it looks like Welwyn Garden City want it more than Bishop Stortford. That, of course, can change. Kick forward. Papuku goes up. It's beaten in the air by Marlowe as Lee Close does well to clear with Merrifield near him. And Thomas heads it down on that far side. It does go down on the floor now for Foxley, much to the delight of the man to my left. But in the end, Carl Mentzer puts it on his chest and thumps it out by the BB Mitchell sign on that far side. Substitution about to be made then. Bishop Stortford have got the first bench who are going to blink, I think, as sub's going to be made. In fact, it's going to be one on either side. So it's going to be Corey Davidson who's going to go off. And the man that comes on is Michael Mullins. So Mullins for Davidson. And Welwyn Garden City about to make a change as well. Tishikala has gone off. And it's going to be Robbie Buchanan who has come on. So change for either side. So Bishop Stortford then in on the side of the area here, pulls it back. Marlowe's going to tee up the shot. Oh, it's the crossbar. And the ball bounces down. Crowley manages to pour it away, and that's the closest the visitors have come by a long margin. Marlowe shot cannons off the top of the crossbar. Here's Robbins. Welwyn Garden City have still not got it clear. As once again it's Foxley who turns inside on the edge of the area. Walkland got a knock on the ankle, but Bishop Stortford will get themselves a throw in. Jesse Walkland's gone down. He had an ankle problem last season, so always a little bit of a worry when he goes down. But hopefully he will be okay, the Welwyn Garden City skipper. And he's just about to get up, and yep, he's going to be okay. So Robbie Buchanan's come on. I've got a feeling Eusebio de Silva is about to come on for Jack Vasey, looking at the board on that far side. So it's going to be another substitution by Nicky Ironton. But not before.
Also change for Welwyn Garden City on 55 minutes. Replacing number 7.
Long ball forward. But Haynes picks it up on the halfway line. Just announcing the Robbie Buchanan change. That raised the right winger for a right winger. As all the ball bounced off immense is Merrifield. All good save by Charlie Crowley, but bundled in to the back of the net by Foxley. Bishop Stortford back level. But you've got to say, Welwyn Garden City, the architects of their own downfall there. Could have brought the ball clear, they didn't. And a whole new complexion has been put on this tower by Darren Foxley. Bishop Stortford back level after 12 minutes of the second half. So game back on here. And Jack Vasey is going to go off to be replaced by Eusebio de Silva. So it's all happening. Substitutions on either side and an equalising goal for Bishop Stortford. So big Eusebio de Silva comes out, and very much as the Robbie Buchanan change was a right winger for a right winger, it's a centre forward for a centre forward, if in Eusebio perhaps one with slightly more physical presence, as he goes up first of all, making a nuisance of himself, can't get the ball. Let's see how the citizens react to this, and also how Bishop Stortford have been frustrated all evening up until that equaliser react. Here's Haynes, chips it out on the far side for Marlowe, who'd come close before that goal went in by rattling the crossbar. Marlowe's ball forward, looking for Richardson, headed down by Lee Close, out by Johnny Sexton, and just a little bit of an enthusiastic challenge, it's got to be said, by the substitute. Joe Gardner, but it's going to be a free kick to Welwyn Garden City, which Charlie Crowley will take. Bishop Stortford player's gone down meanwhile. It's going to need a little bit of attention from the physio, who's got the Darth Vader mask on. It's going to add a little bit on to the end of this one. If you've just joined us, welcome along. 90 Minutes Live in association with East Hearts Radio and Universal Signs. Peter Hill with you, bringing you coverage of our local sides. He's got 3 sides at set 4, Hertford, Ware and Welwyn Garden City. Hertford, of course, who had that excellent win on Saturday at Tooting and Mitcham. Many congratulations to Ben Hurd and his young team, average age of 19 without the manager, who, despite what it says on Twitter, is not 76. I think he'll admit to that one. Meanwhile, there's a fair amount of treatment going on here for Gardner, the substitute, has only just come on. And I've got a feeling he's not going to play much further part in this. So I think we're going to see a substituted here. As Gardner, who'd only been on the pitch for a couple of minutes, is about to depart. So it's not a sight you want to see. Wish him well, as Joe Gardner is carried off by a tandem of, I think that's manager and physio. And so Bishop Stortford forced into another change. Substitute on the far side is about to come on. I think it could be Joe Biaggi, who's about to come on for Bishop Stortford in place of Gardner. So they're forced to make a second change, although of course it's only going to change the personnel on the field once, because they've had to substitute, and Isbo actually's come on the number 18. Long kick forward, for Eusebio de Silva, breaks for Dave Keenley's side. The substitute Boashi is at it very quickly, and Eusebio has to put it out as a throw into Bishop Stortford, which Robbins will take. Robbins looking for a little bit of movement. Johnny Sexton heads it forward. Abugu was caught rather on his heels. Red Henshaw's ball down this right-hand touchline. Looks for, trying to keep it in on this near side was Richardson, but couldn't do so. So Welwyn Garden City will get themselves a throw in. Story of the game, well, goal in the first half from George Ironton put Welwyn Garden City ahead at the break. But Darren Foxley's equaliser scrambled in, it's got to be said, came after Marlowe had rattled the crossbar. So Bishop Stortford making the better start to the second half. And that showed in the equalising goal. So free kick to Welwyn Garden City at the moment. It's going to be taken by Charlie Crowley. Crowley, right-footed downfield. Absolutely balanced on a knife edge. Eusebio goes up, wins the ball well, and then goes down. And the challenge from Henshaw, who's screaming on down. I think it's a clash of heads. No blame attached to Eusebio. I've got a feeling Henshaw headed the back of Eusebio de Silva's head, which is certainly not something you want to do. Although Henshaw's getting up having the word with the referee, and I think he's claiming there was a little bit more to that. Referee, though, is not particularly interested. Eusebio and Henshaw, grudgingly, I think, making up. And the referee is not quite sure what he's going to do at the moment, actually. He likes to chat, this referee. No doubt about that. He's got a whole flurry of players around him. George Ironton's involved again. And, he's actually waving the physio on. Not quite sure why he's waving physio on. And I think it's... it's Henshaw who's going to require a little bit of attention from the Welwyn physio. The reason for that is, of course, for the Bishop Stortford physio, he's still presumably attending to Gardner, the substitute, who had to be taken off injured. Henshaw, though, certainly got bang in the face. There was little doubt about that, but he's going to be okay. And so it's all going to add to tension at the end of this, because the minutes are clocking up of what's going to be added on to the end. Just a reminder, if it is still a 1-1 after 90 minutes, then we go into the lottery. But a bit of excitement. That's penalty kicks. haven't commentated on a penalty shootout for a long time, but let's wait and see whether that comes. As Giddins and I can see actually Henshaw did get a real bang on the nose here. So there's no doubt that that scream that he gave out was not one that he'd made up. Ryan Henshaw's having to be patched up here by the physio. And Bishop Stortford are down to 10 men. He's having a chat with the goalkeeper now. Quite sure what that's all about. Sure it isn't where did you get the fetching lime green kits, but you never know. As Giddins will take the kick. Henshaw smiling at the crowd, so he's not in too much pain. As Giddins now bowls it out of his penalty area and right-footed downfield to the edge of the area. Johnny Sexton's first to meet it. Richardson thumps the ball against him on the rebound and goes out for a throw-in on this near side. Bayachi will take the throw-in, will he? Or is he in fact going to leave it to Robbins as Henshaw's still off the pitch? But Robbins will take the throw-in for the visitors. Meanwhile, Bayachi does well. Turns inside George Ironton. Merrifield's ball across the box is headed on by Foxley, but easy meat for Crowley to pick up and bowl it out for Robbie Buchanan, who we haven't seen yet, have we, since he's been on. First touch, won't see him there because he's given the ball away. Buchanan still ferrying away. Richardson was offside without a shadow of a doubt there. Linesman didn't want to raise his flag or didn't notice it. It's a good job that nothing resulted from that, or else there would have been some very heated protests, you would suspect, from the home side. Henshaw's still being treated down there, and Bishop Stortford's still down to 10 men. The referee wants to come across for a chat again. So, not quite sure what it's all about this time. The physio is ferreting in his bag for something, and has come out with a tub of good old-fashioned Vaseline by the look of it. And Henshaw's back on, referee's happy, and maybe we might get some football in a minute, you never know. As ball's out on that far side, November is going to take the throw in for Bishop Stortford. Two physios exchanging stories as they walk around together. As November down the line, headed forward for Bayachi, who gets it all wrong, and George Ironton puts it forward for Eusebio da Silva. This time it's Bishop Stortford who are claiming offside, and the assistant on the other side isn't interested. Eusebio holds it up, finds Robbie Buchanan. Buchanan's bundled to the ground, referee not interested, and Bishop Stortford will come back the other way with Marlowe. Marlowe's ball down that left-hand side, and it looked like Bayachi was offside again there, and finally a flag does come up on this near side. And it's got fans talking, but it's no wonder, it's a ridiculous bit of play where someone's got to touch the ball before they're offside. It shows some intent. And they're also complaining that down the other side, Dave Keenley's side is down and the referee's not done anything about it. So I think both sides are having a bit of a gripe against the official. And we know that Nicky will be having a gripe against the official. He picked up a yellow card here, didn't he, in the previous round against Saffron Walden. That physio, once again, from having walked round the pitch, has now got to go half the length of the pitch. I think we're going to have to need treatment for the physio if this continues. And in the meantime, Dave Keenley's side has decided he wants to get up and get on with it. So that's added to the physio's step count, hasn't it? He hasn't done anything else. So really has been scrappy stuff in this second half, and I've got to be said, regular listeners to 90 Minutes Live will know I never criticise a referee, but I think this one's been partially responsible, to be honest. That Charlie Crowley will restart from the goal away to our right-hand side. In the midst of all this, it's 1-1 here in the FA Cup first qualifying round. Crowley, easy header back out by Haynes, but doesn't control it very well, and it goes out of play on that far side of the field. Bradshaw down the line, nice little header down by Eusebio da Silva. Buchanan's there with Haynes, but ball goes out of play for a throw-in to Bishop Stortford. November will take the throw-in for the visitors. Down the line, on to the head of Opoku is Eusebio da Silva wrestling for the ball and winning. Sabi on that far side said about his physical presence. Didn't win out there against Haynes, though. Unceremoniously barged him down. Shoulder to shoulder, to be fair. It's not a non-contact sport. Well, not at this level anyway. As throw-in comes in from Sexton to Sabio, who's got Haynes all over him again. And on the halfway line, Lee Close loses their header to Merrifield, and Charlie Crowley, whose starting position was excellent, comes from midway inside his own half to clear the ball. Apoku can't win it. High, up and under. Merrifield's chasing it, as is Buachi. And Lee Close is the defender. Merrifield gets there first. Here's Foxley. Plays the ball back onto the edge of the area, taking an age about getting the ball across. They do finally, but in the end it goes behind for a corner. So a corner to Bishop Stortford. Had 25 minutes of the second half here, and we're locked up 1-1. No replays, so we're 20 minutes away from a penalty shootout. As the corner comes across, up go the heads, everybody's missed it. It'll break on this near side for Eusebio de Silva, who's doing the defending. Eusebio was being fouled, but he's put a good through ball to Robbie Buchanan. Buchanan's got some space, hasn't got too much in front of him apart from George Ironton. He's Robbie Buchanan on the edge of the area, finds George Ironton, still George Ironton, but can't go anywhere. He's absolutely covered in yellow shirts. Finds Eusebio de Silva, left-hand side of the box, fires in the shot, and it goes just over the top. Best chance for the Citizens in the second half. Ball to Buchanan, who did well, controlled it. George Ironton did superbly well with white shirts, screaming all over him. Found Eusebio, left-hand side of the box, let it fly, and it flew just over the target. So Giddins will restart from the goal away to our left. Maybe the home side buoyed on just a little bit by that opportunity. Best one they've had in the second half. Richardson goes up, and Mensah does lose a header. There's a collector's item. Apoku heads it forward. Keenly side can't get there ahead of Movember. Movember puts it out for a throw-in on that far side, which Jack Bradshaw will take. Bradshaw, the first real time we've seen Buchanan, former Stortford player. Callum Stead was the man, wasn't he, really, last season? Buchanan's been one of those players brought in to perhaps fill some pretty big shoes, but he's done well in the early part of his Welwyn Garden City career. Keenly side thumps it forward, a chance for Eusebio to run against Haynes, who does well, clears to the halfway line, off a Puku. All Sexton can do is put out a boot, and Henshaw heads it forward down that left-hand side, returned by Mensah, and suddenly it's a case of 15 all, but Merrifield puts it forward for Johnny Sexton. Walklin puts it up in the air, and the aerial volleyball continues. Walklin does well, finds Buchanan on that far side. Buchanan has to turn away and was having his shirt tugged. Well spotted, referee. That's a free kick to our home side, taken by Jack Bradshaw, who threads it out on this near side for Johnny Sexton, who's made a good run down the left-hand side. Into the box is George Ironton. Ironton will turn it back for Sexton, who will put it across, but it's a poor cross all the way along the ground. Robbins makes a meal out, clearing it though, and gives it away to George Ironton. Ironton back for Sexton, who again puts it across the ground. Action replay there. Needed a bit of height with Eusebio in the box, couldn't find it. Lee Close will collect the ball and take the throw in for Welwyn Garden City. Feeling putting their foot on the gas a little bit here, the Citizens. Reacted well since that equalising goal went in. Close down the line, looking for Eusebio. He's got a Henshaw all over him, and in the end it goes out for a throw-in to Bishop Stortford. He's taken on this near side by Sam Robbins, who wears 5 but plays right back. Robbins down the line, Sexton can't get there, Walklin will though. Long punt forward, Eusebio against Henshaw again. Apoku trying to get there ahead of Marlowe, but he can't do, and Marlowe finds his goalkeeper Giddins. Giddins, long kick downfield onto the halfway line. Wayward header by Foxley, but Walklin's given it away. Bishop Stortford coming forward here with Marlowe down that left-hand side. Foxley's in attendance. Mensah did a good job in putting him off, but the cross comes over his Wow, Pataji into the area. Should have done better with it. I think he was caught in two minds whether to volley it and head it. In the end, he did neither. And the ball went behind for a goal kick, which Charlie Crowley will take. Getting on for the last 15 minutes here at Hearns Lane. Welwyn Garden City 1 through George Ironton. Bishop Stortford 1 through Darren Foxley. Stortford have hit the bar in the second half. And Welwyn Garden City have gone close through Eusebio de Silva. Is Sexton heads it down looking for George Ironton. Ironton turns away from two players, but Thomas manages to wrestle the ball away from him. Does well, does Jack Thomas. Thomas coming forward, but Sexton robs him. Keenly sides ball, searching out Robbie Buchanan on the far side, but he's offside. And the flag goes up. November quickly down the line for Marlow. Referee didn't like it, thought it was taken too quickly. Get a feeling nobody wants penalties here, and George Ironton meanwhile has got himself a yellow card. So maybe just a little bit too much chat from George to our referee. George was one of our studio guests the other week, of course. It was a pleasure to talk to him. Always got a really good insight from a player's perspective. 90 minutes on East Harps Radio, 7 o'clock every Monday. If you want to tune in for all the local sport. Got a really interesting guest next week. We've got Kieran Amos of Sawbridgeworth Town, the footballer who lost 7 stone to then score in the FA Cup. Got a lot of press attention. Kieran's going to be our guest. Be good to talk to him. As League Close goes up, here's Bertacci, but he's offside. Won't count. Flag up. Oh, he goes down as if, I can't believe it. But, yes, can't believe it's not a goal. I think could have had an Oscar for that reaction. There was certainly no doubt about the fact he was well offside. Charlie Crowley will take the goal kick. The one thing you do, whatever happens from here on in, I think that the home crowd can be pretty proud of the way that their side have dealt with the team from one step up the pyramid. They've certainly not been outclassed here. As Keenly side steps on the ball and Thomas can't win it away from Eusebio de Silva. Watling goes down on the challenge and Welwyn Garden City have themselves a free kick just inside the Bishop Stortford half. No manager thinking of making a change at the moment. You always wonder when it's balanced like this, if someone's got a penalty specialist on the bench and fancies bringing him on for the last couple of minutes just to take a spot kick, but hopefully we won't get that far, as George Ironton will take the free kick for Welwyn Garden City. Mensah and Close have come up from the back. Bradshaw and Sexton are the two defenders back. Ironton saying that Bertacci is certainly, he's not 10 yards. He's behind the ball, granted, but nowhere near 10 yards. Referee still waits as players jockey for position on the edge of that 18-yard area. As Ironton's kick high, goalkeeper should get it and does. Giddens collected it quite comfortably. Waits for his penalty area to clear. And then takes his time about it. Bowls it out as the experienced goalkeeper. It's at Bittlericky at one stage. As his kick right-footed downfield, and oh dear. Well, it's a little bit of manhandling by Richardson on George Ironton, and Richardson is immediately shown a yellow card. So that's the quickest thing the referee's done all night, produce that yellow card that quick, I think. George Ironton was on the receiving end, and Richardson's got himself in the book. So Crowley will take the free kick for Welwyn Garden City. Just pointing where he wants Eusebio to go. And Mark Haynes, who's him and the Henshaw have been in a Eusebio shirt for most of the time he's been on. If it wasn't for COVID, they'd probably be driving home in the back of his car, but Crowley's going to take the kick here. Taking his time about it. And here we go with Charlie Crowley with the right boot. High one to the edge of that area. Haynes is going to go up with Eusebio. Eusebio's wrestled the ball away from him. Just trying to get up enough space for a shot. Fires it in, but it's all the way along the ground and straight into Giddens' arms. managed to find the space, couldn't get the power as Close heads the ball down well to Welwyn. Welwyn's header is an intelligent one to Jack Bradshaw. Bradshaw turns inside his man and then on the left boot sends it forward. Eusebio chasing and Giddins is right out of his goal but slices it away. Rather appropriately that slice because we've got a golf course over the other side, I guess. But in the end, it's... And as Phil, who's been helping me out tonight, says, if I've been watching him again, would I? Would I say that about you? Come on. As Eusebio picks the ball up and Bradshaw puts it waywardly on this near side for Baachi. Johnny Sexton delays his progress. The ball is put through. Richardson against Lee Close here. And Close manages to... Oh, he's beaten him. Richardson turns inside, Close turns inside him again. Ironton's there, and somehow Richardson loses his way. And Thomas has given Thomas Opoku a chance to come forward for Welwyn Garden City, but he's lost it. And suddenly Thomas has petulantly kicked out at Thomas Opoku, and the referee hasn't done anything. So, wow. The referee could have had a closer look at that. Don't have any VAR here, but I think the VAR boys would have wanted to look at that as Buchanan pulls it inside for Keenley's side. He's pulled down by Movember, who's going to get a yellow card, and it's all getting a bit tetchy. There's a substitution about to be made by Bishop Stortford, and it's going to be Richardson who comes off, and it's going to be Louis Johnson who will come on, I think. But... Richardson, I don't know whether that was about Richardson's performance or the fact that he was seeing red on occasions and might have seen red from the referee. That remains to be seen which one of that was. Here's Louis Johnson who's come on for Bishop Stortford. So free kick's going to be taken by Dave Keenley's side. On that far side, Johnson offers a different threat to Richardson, much slighter, would imagine, with a bit of pace. Don't know because I've not seen him play, but Keenley's side waiting patiently to take the free kick on that far side. Drifts it into the area. Out comes the goalkeeper. He's missed it. Oh, Mensah with a chance has put his header wide, and it's deflected behind for a corner. Giddins came flapping, but didn't leave a note there. He was absolutely nowhere to be seen. And Carl Mensah had a great opportunity, but it was deflected wide. Well, will they live to rue that? George Ironton's going to take the corner on this near side. Chances would have been few and far between, and that was a very good one. Ironton's corner to be taken on this near side. Goes for the back stick and headed, well, a cross goal rather than out. Lee Close goes in. Ball to Ironton again on this near side. Puts it onto the far post. Header comes in and it's saved by Giddins. Thomas Opoku, I think it was, who'd made his way up on that far post. Headed it down and Giddins gratefully grabs it. And the goalkeeper will be very thankful. His aberration at the other one has not led to Welwyn Garden City being in front. Giddins downfield, Mensah goes up. This time gets a much more solid header on the ball, but it drifts out of play on that far side of the field. 8 minutes from penalties as Movember will take the throw in for Bishop Stortford on that far side of the field. They've made all their changes. Mickey Ironton's still got one in the bank if he would want to make it. But it's Foxley on that far side. Welwyn was the defender. The ball goes out for a throw-in to the visitors. Movember will take it. Finds Foxley. Movember again. Good challenge coming in from Jesse Welwyn as Thomas will pick it up. Thomas puts the ball inside to Foxley. Foxley turns the ball across the area. Crowley shouts, mine. Good shout from the goalkeeper and collects it easily on the edge of his 6-yard box. Charlie Crowley will clear downfield. Crowley's kick lands with Thomas on the halfway line. Mensah goes up, can't win the ball, but Lee Close on the far side sends Robbie Buchanan scurrying away down that touchline. Linesman's flag goes up. Buchanan wins a free kick from Welwyn. It's a mismatch inside of the height. the tigerish little character of Robbie Buchanan against Movember. I think it was the fullback that was adjudged to have brought him down. So Dave Keenley's had a chance to cause another problem for Giddins from a free kick. No doubt Mensah's going to be up there again alongside Lee Close, and you can add to that, of course, Eusebio de Silva as well in terms of aerial power. So Keenley's side has got to get his delivery spot on here. He's going to swing it in with the right boot. Here's the number 8. It's the referee making sure everybody's where they should be. Dave Keenley's side then. Here it comes. Good looking kick in at the near posts, and Eusebio went down but couldn't get hold of the ball. Auckland goes straight into the back of Bayachi, and it's going to be a free kick to Bishop Stortford inside their own half. So, are we going to get late drama here, or are we going to go to penalty kicks? We're just 5 minutes plus time added on, and as we've been saying about this referee, it could be quite a lot. I think we could have 4 or 5 added on at the end of this, so it'll be interesting. Welwyn Garden City, I think, are about to make another change as kick taken forward by Giddins. It's going to land over the top of everybody, and in the end there was a flag up. Sexton heads it back into the arms of Charlie Crowley. I think it could be the new signing Patrick Kouassi, who's a former Enfield Town player, and he played for the reserves or the under-23s as well in the Hart Senior County League in their 3-0 defeat on Saturday. I've got a feeling he may be making his first team debut here. Kick forward by Crowley onto the chest of Eusebio de Silva. Eusebio turns away from Mwamba. Oh, he went the wrong way then. Oh, and Eusebio's boot was high against Mwamba. Marlowe takes the kick quickly and has Buachi going away down that left-hand side. Carl Mensah is the defender. Oh, that's a terrible cross. All the way over the top and to the fans behind the goal. Let's have a look and see who it is who is going to be coming on. So it's going to be Thomas Apuku who is going to go off. So Thomas Apuku goes off, and it is going to be Patrick Okazi who is going to come on. So Patrick Okazi comes on. So it's full time. Oh, or is it full time? No, we're looking at the FA Cup Walthamstow against St Margaret's 3, still 0-0 there. So it could be heading for 2 penalty shootouts. So Patrick Akwazi comes on to make his Welwyn Garden City debut then. Enfield Town, Northwood is represented as well. And we know Nicky Ironton likes a striker. And he's the latest one to come here to Ernst Lane. Early touch for him as he goes up with Robbins. Robbins thumps the ball off of Thomas's back, and Walklin on that far side can bring in Robbie Buchanan. Buchanan now turns inside one defender, turns inside 2, gets shoved in the back, and the referee gives a goal kick. Well, that's an interesting one. I didn't think there was any doubt about that, but referee didn't agree. But the goal kick's going to be taken on the opposite side of the 6-yard box. It's interesting. I saw a goalkeeper almost get booked, Callum Kitchker, on Saturday for doing that. As Giddins' long ball downfield, free header for Merrifield. Johnson, the substitute, turns well. It's a good tackle coming in from Johnny Sexton that puts the ball out for a throw in. Robbins will take it for Bishop Stortford. So all the subs used, all the managers can do is stand and watch. As Robbins, Bayachi is there, but he didn't want to use him, and in the end Foxley's come all the way, and it's Dave Keenley's his defender, and he does well. Puts the ball forward, looking for Eusebio. Eusebio gets ahead of Henshaw, but can't keep the ball in. So Giddins will have it from the throw-in from Mark Haynes. So Giddins, right-footed downfield, long, high kick. Johnny Sexton surely will let that run if he can, and he does. And it goes out for a goal kick to Welwyn Garden City. Well, we're into the last minute of normal time here at Hearns Lane. Yet to find out how much the referee's going to add on. But it's got to be something, and some last-minute heroics here to save us all from the palpitations of a penalty shootout, as Charlie Crowley will be very much involved in that. Will take the kick from the goal away to the right. Can't reach Eusebio, headed forward by Marlowe. Jack Bradshaw's ball, looking for Buchanan. Buchanan is outnumbered, finds Bradshaw again, chips it forward for Eusebio. Eusebio controls it well away from Haynes. Eusebio goes down towards the corner flag on that side and then pulls the ball all the way across. It's going to go out for a throw-in. If it goes out at all, Kawasi makes a nuisance of himself, but it's Bishop Stortford who win the throw-in. Still yet to find out what the referee has added on at the end. It's going to be 4 minutes added on at the end of the game here. I think that's probably just about right. So we're in to the final 4 at 1-1. Long ball forward by Marlowe. Boachi is chasing it. Mensah is there as well, and Mensah does well. Clears the ball to Robbie Buchanan, brings it down nicely. Quick feet by the substitute. He's pulled down, and Welwyn Garden City have themselves a free kick. He's not lively as Buchanan when he's had the ball. So George Ironton will take the kick. Got Kawasi over on this near side in plenty of space. I think Robbins is keeping an eye on him. Carl Mensah's come up from the back. It's Mensah's header, of course, deflected behind for a corner when Giddins had come flapping. That could have put Welwyn Garden City in front. So Jack Bradshaw is going to take the kick. Bradshaw forward, looking for Eusebio. Eusebio goes up. George Ironton goes in. But Bishop Stortford will thump it clear. Waltlin's first there, though. Ironton does well. Turn round one man, can't turn round another. But Jack Bradshaw will watch it go over his shoulder, keep it in on that far side. Bradshaw down the line, looking for Ironton again. Bishop Stortford get their head in the way. Headed back by Thomas. He's long ball forward by Foxley from Merrifield, who's chased gamely all night. Hasn't really had any opportunities, but Foxley heads it forward again. Here's Marlowe going down that left-hand side for Bishop Stortford. Batashi getting in the area. Marlowe's cross comes over, headed out by Mensah. Here's Kawasi on this near side, who's there with Johnson, the other substitute. Looks to bring in George Ironton, but Thomas does well to put it back to Haynes. Haynes' ball all the way along the line for Foxley, who fires in a shot with a deflection. And in the end, it goes wide for a corner. Some of the 35 yards out. I think it would have had to have been something special to catch Charlie Crowley out, but Bishop Stortford got a chance. Foxley was noticeably limping, the number 15. In fact, he's not making it all the way over to take the corner. We had 2 of the 4, which is in added on. Boachi will take the corner on this near side. Welwyn Garden City have pulled everybody back. Sent the goalkeeper Giddins up, but corner comes across, and it's all sorts happening inside the box. Claims going either way, and the referee has decided discretion is the better part of valour there, and he's given a goal kick. I don't think he's got a clue what went on in there, to be honest, but it's going to be a goal kick which Charlie Crowley will take for Welwyn Garden City. So could this be last opportunity? Time is ticking away with the score at 1-1. We've had 3 of the allotted 4 over the top here. So referee will start looking at his watch as Crowley clears from the goal away to our right hand side. Crowley's kick goes out, and that is going to be the last action of normal time here at Hearns Lane. It's finished. Welwyn Garden City 1, Bishop Stortford 1. George Ironton in the first half for Welwyn Garden City, and in the second half, after Ben Marlowe had thrashed the ball against the crossbar, it was Darren Foxley who bundled it in for the equaliser. Welwyn Garden City having chances at the other end through Eusebio de Silva and Carl Mensah, but it is all going to come down to a penalty shootout. So stay with it here, because we will be bringing the drama of penalties, and whoever wins, of course, will go through into the second qualifying round, which will be on Saturday the 3rd of October. And whoever wins it will take home a cheque for £2,250 as well. So managers and teams both conversing with each other. As far as we know, are likely to be into a penalty shootout at Walthamstow as well, which Walthamstow against St Margaret's-Bury. Walthamstow cleared off the line by St Margaret's-Bury, it's saying on Twitter 5 minutes ago, so a bit of desperate defending done by the Bury, but it's a really good performance by them against a team that many people felt would be there or thereabouts at the top of the Essex Senior League. Walthamstow got a lot of experienced boys that Max Mitchell has pulled in to his squad there. You often wonder what managers are saying at this point, don't you? Possibly who fancies it. It was interesting talking to Ray Bartlett on Sunday when we said, well, what do you do as a manager at this point? And he said, well, with my team, I didn't have to do anything because quite literally they just stepped forward and took them. They didn't really have too much say. Those players that wanted to take it were the players that took them. And just noticeably, Charlie Crowley is away from the group, just pacing up and down and just steadying himself. I wonder which end they're going to take him at. We'll find out as the referee is conversing with both his referee's assistants. And still plenty of talking going on. As we were saying during commentary, the referee likes to chat. And I think we're now going to find out. So the two goalkeepers, Jack Giddins and Charlie Crowley, are going to play a major part in seeing who goes through to the second qualifying round of the FA Cup. Should it be Welwyn Garden City, it will be for only the third time in their history. Ryan Henshaw is there, the skipper for Bishop Stortford, having a little bit of a chat with the referee. Welwyn Garden City's huddle has broken. It looks like it's going to be the goal away to our right hand side where the penalty kicks are going to be taken. Charlie Crowley is first goalkeeper making his way towards the net on the right hand side here. Well, both squads, as is the convention, lined up on the halfway line, which makes it a long, lonely walk to the penalty spot for whoever is going to take the kicks. Which I had the statistic of last time either of these teams were involved in a penalty shootout. Unfortunately, I don't, so we'll have to forego that. But I can tell you it's going to be Welwyn Garden City are going to take the first one by the look of the way the goalkeepers are going. Crowley's going away to the right. Giddins is going into the goal net. And with the way he's standing there, I've got a feeling it could be Dave Keenley's side who's going to take the first one for Welwyn Garden City. So waiting to get a ball, and it is indeed the number 8, Dave Keenley's side, who's making his way up to take the first penalty for Welwyn Garden City. Hush descends on Hearns Lane. Can be nothing like the drama of a penalty shootout. Maybe a lot of people saying, well, why can't we have 30 minutes extra? A lot of debate about that, of course. A lot of debate why you can't have replays, but we haven't got either. We've got a penalty shootout, and Dave Keenley's side against Jack Giddins for the first kick in that penalty shootout between Welwyn Garden City and Bishop Stortford. Here we go. Keenley's side looks up and puts it high into the top right-hand corner. Super penalty by Keenley's side. Welwyn Garden City go one in front on the penalty shootout. Second penalty is going to be taken by the goal scorer, who was Darren Foxley. So Foxley against Charlie Crowley. Charlie Crowley just hands him the ball, being courteous. Don't know whether he got a little bit of a jibe in there just to try and put him off. So Foxley, who scrambled in that equaliser, has got a chance to thump one in now from the penalty spot. Here he comes with the left boot, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, and it's 1-1. Good penalty by Foxley. George Ironton is going to be the next one for Welwyn Garden City. George's goal after 17 minutes kicked off proceedings here. And he's got to try and beat Giddins from the penalty spot and do exactly what the first two have done. No saving either of those penalties from Keenley side or Foxley. So George Ironton places the ball, steps back 3 paces, and he's got to go back and change where the ball is. Paces it down again. Giddins turns around, now faces George Ironton. Ironton steps up and just creeps in the corner. Goalkeeper went the right way, couldn't get a hand to it though. And so 2-1 for Welwyn Garden City. It's going to be the substitute who came on now, who is Louis Johnson, who's going to take the next one for Welwyn Garden City. And it looks like, I'll tell you about St Margaret's, but in just a second, it's Louis Johnson against Charlie Crowley, and Crowley so close to saving it, but rather like Giddins with the last one. He went the right way but couldn't prevent it going in the back of the net. So it looks like Walthamstow have missed a penalty against St Margaret's-Bury. We've got 2 going for the price of 1 here. That's the way it goes. So, and that in the 90th minute. Well, there we go. Penalties all over the place. This one's going to be taken by Jack Bradshaw for Welwyn Garden City. We stand at 2-2 in the shootout. Bradshaw against Giddins. Bradshaw takes it. Giddins has saved it. Diving away to his right. He parried it. It hit the post and rebounded over the top. And first strike to the visitors, as Jack Bradshaw disconsolately walks back to the halfway line. He gets the applause of his team, but it's advantage to the visitors. Bradshaw's penalty saved, and Joe Boachi, another one of the substitutes, is going to take the penalty for Bishop Stortford. 2-2, we stand in the shootout. This will put the visitors in front. Boachi against Charlie Crowley. Boachi to the right-hand side and right in the corner of the net. 3-2 to Bishop Stortford. So, and it's going to be Patrick Kawazi, who didn't really get a touch when he came on as a substitute. Is going to take the next one for Welwyn Garden City. So Kawazi is going to line the ball up here against Giddins, who could be the hero for the visitors, saving that penalty from Jack Bradshaw. What can he do against Kawazi here? Kawazi steps up and no saving that. Top right, Kawazi. Don't count as a goal, do you? But it would be his first for Welwyn Garden City. So drama goes on. Ben Marlowe coming up to take this one for Bishop Stortford. We stand at 3-3 in the penalty shootout. But Bishop Stortford have got this one in hand, which Ben Marlowe will take against Charlie Crowley. Marlowe to the right. Crowley couldn't get there. 4-3 to the visitors. And, well, big Carl Menser is making a determined walk to the penalty spot because he knows he's got a score here or Welwyn Garden City are out. So Menser against Giddins to keep the citizens in the FA Cup. Giddins takes his time, adjusts his goalkeeping gloves. Menser picks up the ball, puts it down on the penalty spot, puts it down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps back for the big man. Here comes Carl Menser against Giddins, and the goalkeeper saved it, and Bishop Stortford are through. Penalty heartbreaker at Hearns Lane for the citizens, and Bishop Stortford's hero, their goalkeeper Jack Giddins, who saved penalties from Carl Menser and Carl Bradshaw. Cruel on the citizens, who've done well against their Step 3 opponents. It's Bishop Stortford who celebrate here at Hearns Lane. It's finished after the game finished 1-1 after full time. Bishop Stortford win here 4-3 on penalties. Good luck to them in the second qualifying round. I'm sure there's plenty of positives despite the defeat that Nicky Ironton can take for this one, but it's ended in disappointment. Thanks for joining us on 90 Minutes Live, and I'll leave you with a full time score of Welwyn Garden City 1, Bishop Stortford 1. Bishop Stortford through 4-3 on penalties.